This is Jess with Local Music Somewhere, and you're listening to rBeatz Radio. Hey everybody, welcome back to Local Music Somewhere. I'm Jess with rBeatz, and today in the studio we have Deshaun James. Deshaun, how is it going?
Oh, it's going sensational. Thank you for having me.
No, of course. We're very excited to have you on. So you've got all this music coming out. We've got so much to talk about here. It says you're out of Greenville, South Carolina. Is that right?
So I'm actually from Minnesota. So technically I would be from out of Minnesota, but my girlfriend and I recently just moved down to South Carolina about a year ago, actually coming up here. So I just wanted to move down here because the music scene was a little bit better, and I enjoy the South though.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably a lot less cold and snowy.
Absolutely. It's already it's getting there up there. So
Yeah. All right, Deshaun. So tell me a little bit about yourself here. Let's go ahead and intro this because you just have a single out that came out. It's called One on One. We're going to be playing that here, but you just give us a little synopsis. What is going on with you?
Life. I woke up and I'm blessed, but what's going on with me is I am just a hungry independent artist who wants his music to be heard, and I'm from Minnesota. Recently just moved down to South Carolina about a year ago, me and my lovely lady. So, I mean, I'm just enjoying life, and I'm also blessed to be on you guys' platform today.
Oh, yeah, that's sounding good. Yeah, we're like I said, we love to have you on. So let's talk about the music here.
For sure.
I see that you kind of have multiple genres going on. There's hip hop, there's pop. I'm sure you've got a lot of influences, but this latest single, One on One, can you tell me just specifically about this style, how this song kind of came to be?
I feel like it's kind of like a 2012 Justin Bieber Believe song, and I was kind of feeling more like a clubby vibe song, but still make it as much pop and also hip hop in there where it could be played anywhere, whether it's in a restaurant, Target, Starbucks, radio station. So that's kind of where the influence came from. And I never wanted to limit myself on making any type of genre of music because I like all types of genre of music. Music's just sensational.
Right. Yeah. So what are you drawing your influences from? So what are some of these artists that have affected your process?
I would say my number one all-time artist was by far Usher. I love him. I grew up on that. I love Ed Sheeran too. So if we're going in a pop realm, I like Ed Sheeran, Justin Bieber. I like JB. Chris Brown's pretty talented, cannot deny that. King of pop, Michael Jackson, obviously. And hip-hop,
Right.
It all depends on hip-hop, but one of my favorite rappers is Big Sean. I guess it's because we probably share the same name a little bit, Big Sean, Deshaun. So, but other than that, yeah, no, I just love music, and I just want my music to be relatable, and anyone can listen to it, no matter the age.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely, a pretty good site for what you want to do. I noticed that you were talking about having it play in different, arenas. So we're talking about, licensing. Have you kind of had anything go on in that direction, licensing wise, with your music yet? Or is that the goal?
Absolutely. So moving forward in 2024, my goal is I want to get signed to an independent label who can definitely help me overall, get me in spaces that I can't get myself into as independent artists. And also with licensings, I think of a lot of artists. One thing I've learned is sync license deals are something that's very crucial into music industry because you can get your music on TV shows, commercials, movies, et cetera, et cetera. So kind of tapping more into that, getting it licensed and all that. That's kind of what I want to start moving forward to in 2024. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and there's definitely multiple avenues for that as far as, catalogs with, say, Getty Images or something like that, and then pluggers. So there's multiple ways to, get that done. And I agree. I actually think licensing has pretty great returns when it's kind of hard to, make this work financially. I know you gig as well and perform, so let's talk about that. It's another way you stir the pot, right? So
absolutely.
Tell me what it's like performing live. What is that like for you?
Oh, that's one of the greatest feelings of all time. And actually, recently, so I kind of wanted to take a different approach, Jessica. With when I moved down south, I was just I want to get on a lot of radios, podcasts, kind of get to know people, and kind of get my name out there. And I haven't yet performed down south, but I'm excited to because up north I was more known as a hip hop artist because I first started out making music as rap. So me kind of wanting to switch to pop genre, I was just I need to make a lot of pop music, kind of build up that catalog, kind of get more pop music out there and get on the radios, et cetera, et cetera. So when I moved down south, now people down here will know me more as a pop artist, which is kind of where I want moving forward. So I still have to perform, and it's probably going to start in 2024. I just wanted to get a good catalog out, so when people see me live, they have a lot of music to go back to. But performing live, that makes me feel the most alive. That is the greatest thing. It's a sensational feeling.
It really is, because you're bringing in, original material to new listeners, and you're connecting in a totally different way than you would in a conversation. Music is everything that we can't express through words. I noticed on one of your lyrics, my verse is sharp like a samurai sword. And I love analogies and similes like that.
That's awesome.
Because you get the visuals. So tell me more about, the lyrics and how you place things together. Like, what do you feel is your style?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, so like I like to like make like take things from movies, shows, sports, everything where people can relate to. So even if you're not a person who likes hip hop and you hear something like that intertwines with like a show that you like or something that you're into, you can be like, oh, I like that line. That line resonates because I like that and stuff. So yeah, and that's actually, I like that you I'm gonna be honest with you, I do not know what song that is off of. I'm really trying to remember. Like
it's on the EP Chasing Greatness. I can't remember which track, but it was like, yep, there.
Oh, okay, yeah,
there.
Pretty Boy James. I got you. Okay, yeah. So that's awesome. I like that you did some research. That's sensational. But
oh yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I just like being trying to be different in a sense of way, and making listeners certain lines stick out where people are just like, oh wow, I like that. That's different. So that's kind of what I like to do. Yeah. It's something I actually watched on Ed Sheeran. He was like, say something where people will always remember and it hasn't been said yet. So that's what I try to focus on doing, putting lyrics in there where it hasn't been said yet, or certain ways how it's been said.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring that up, because there is a professor at Berklee College of Music that does lyrics, and he says that, whatever you have to say, it's been said before, but how can you say it different? Like, what's the so what of your song? Every love song, every, party song, whatever it is, but what is it that, you're saying that's different? And I totally appreciate their originality, because that's what we need, So you've got so much material out, and just in this past year, 2023, you've got the album Gone Pop. Tell me about that whole album process. Like, what was that like? Like recording and all.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Jessica. So shout out to my my good friend KY. He was like, Deshaun, you should make an album. I know you don't want to drop an album because you're not very, very known, so you don't want all the hard work to go to waste. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to. And that's before I actually moved down south. And then when I moved down to South Carolina, I started going on interviews, radio stations, and then I sat back and I was like, you know what, he actually might be right, because I'm making a lot of pop music. So from people who known me as a hip hop artist, and now I'm just switching over to dropping singles as pop, I'm just like, I think I need to put together something. So originally the Deshaun James Gone Pop wasn't even supposed to be an album until like 2 months before I released it, but I was already like traveling, going places, and we took a trip to Nashville, Tennessee. Probably the number one greatest thing that's ever happened to me for my music career. And Nashville is such a sensational city. It's amazing. But the process of it was, I was just having a lot of fun with the album, and it all just came together collectively as Deshaun James growing. And obviously, as the album's called Deshaun James Gone Pop, it's a lot of pop music and uppity music. So that's still, to me, my best project that's out. And I knew I needed something good where people can go back on and be like, oh wow, this is actually a really overall good project. So I love that album, Deshaun James Gone Pop. I even got a little bit of award for that hanging up on my wall, so it's done me well. Nice. I like that album. It's sensational.
Yeah, it's amazing how, the different formats give you a completely different product, whether it's singles, EP, or album. That album is like a cohesive story, a bigger statement. EP is, a different type of bundle, if you will. And then the singles keep everybody coming back for more, So I appreciate that. So moving forward, I know you've been obviously recording. Actually, I do want to talk about that real quick in studio, because I want to know the process and how
Okay.
you're coming up with the melodies and the harmonies and the lyric, or not the lyrics, but the music. What's going on there? Who are you working with?
Absolutely. So, okay, Deshaun James gonna pop. I was working with producers online and then producers in real life, and now I'd say chasing greatness. I started producing and making recording myself and mixing myself. So actually, 101, I actually recorded on my iPhone. That song's recorded on my iPhone. So that's a new,
What?
yeah, yeah, and
Wait, so the track too? So not just the vocals.
so the track is from a producer online that I got a hold of, and he just sent
I
me the
gotcha.
beat. Yep, and then just my
Yeah.
vocals. Yeah, I just record on my iPhone now. So the whole chasing greatness was all recorded on the iPhone, and then 101's recorded on the iPhone. Yeah.
That's like an iPhone commercial then at this point. That's pretty great. And it's funny what you can do, especially with the software that we have to kind of tweak and make things, nicer than we used to do. I mean,
Absolutely.
the laptops have everything. Right. Yeah. Well, that's really great. So what I know you said you're going to be performing down south more, like that's the gig for 2024. What about collabs or new material or things like that? Like what else is on the horizon for you there?
Absolutely. Like I would love to get more into like spaces with other artists and other creators. I definitely for coming up to 2024, I definitely want to anytime I'm going to a city, I definitely want to see what's going on, what events are happening, because I just want to start rubbing elbows and networking. Because even though we have social media, Jessica, it is sensational, but I always still think real life interactions will forever be the greatest things for us humans, personally, especially when it comes to creating. So I definitely that's what I want to do and collab, and I'm never against that. I love making music with people. Some of my best music is with featured artists or me on their songs. So I love collabing.
Yeah. So, like with the collabs, do you kind of have a dream artist that you feel like if you could collab with anyone, who's that going to be for you?
For anyone, I'd have to still put Ursher up there. I like Ed Sheeran. I love his music. I love his writing. His writing is sensational. Right now,
When you bring up Ed Sheeran, let me talk about that for a second, because what I'm hearing from you is like a really good pop sensibility, because Ed Sheeran draws a lot of stuff from like historical things like Marvin Gaye,
hmm
like I think it's the song Perfect or something, you can hear his influences there.
yeah, thinking. I think
Um,
it. I think it's probably thinking out loud. I think.
Thinking Out
Yeah,
Loud,
thinking out
that's the
loud.
one.
Absolutely.
Right,
Yep.
yeah. Right, but he's, putting together things that really work and moving forward, with his own spin. But that's great. So, yeah, collabs, you're going to get something completely different. But so as far as now down south, you're saying, so we're in South Carolina at this point. Have you kind of checked out Greenville? Like what's the scene like there as far as, local stuff or open mics?
Yeah. I have checked out Greenville. And depending on like, to me, Greenville's still kind of growing musically. I can get that sense.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of South Carolina Greenville artists will go other places to travel. So to me, like I didn't want to live right in the middle of a city, whether it was Charlotte or Atlanta. So I felt like okay, I think Greenville, South Carolina is perfect, not too far from the folks, and it's just simple. But I think Charlotte music scene's very growing. So I'm actually really in Charlotte a lot. Like I can look and see where most of my listeners are at, and a lot of my listeners are in Charlotte. So when I do my first show, it's definitely going to be in Charlotte, just because I have a lot of listeners down here in this city. So I was just like taken back, and also I'm getting some more in Greenville. So I'm just gonna keep growing and trying to get my name out there as much as possible and do what I can.
Totally. I also noticed you've got some music video material out.
Oh,
So tell me
absolutely.
more about what was it? Videos are paramount to, showcase yourself on the internet or wherever, right? So tell me about the video process. Was there like a concept idea? Like, how was that?
Yeah, so when I really actually first started making music, I always said to myself, I think people love to see the people who's making the music. So I
Oh, yeah.
originally started dropping when I dropped music, Jess, it was only music videos. That was it. But the process is it depends on the song. So I have one of my favorites videos is Slow Down. It's on the album Deshaun James Gonna Pop. and it tells a whole entire little story, and it's sensational. It's like a mini movie, and shout out to the actors who were in there. But it depends on the song. So if it's more of a turn-up song, we're just having a good time. If it's more of like a story,
Right.
we're gonna actually have like guidelines. So Slow Down, for example, because that video is sensational. I really wasn't in it. I only had like 1 to 2 seconds in my own video, which was good. And I didn't direct it at all. My buddy, good shout out to Sloan. He really wrote everything down. He directed, made sure everything was going to be in place. He said, I think we should do this. Shout out to my videographer, Devontae. Sensational. The guy is just crazy good at what he does. And, yeah, they kind of really had a lot of foot on that. And honestly, when I'm shooting videos, I'm not hands-on. I actually kind of let my team do it. So my brother, because they have an idea of the song, my videographer.
Yeah.
So I'll have a little bit of input, but my goal is just to be focused on the camera.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, letting other people that's their talent take over on that, that's like a great way to delegate. So
different
definitely.
perspective.
Yeah, really great. Well, I really appreciate you coming on the show today. We're just so happy to have you, and we're definitely going to be playing the music and linking everything, all your socials in the description and all of that. Do you have anything that you'd like to tell our listeners? Because of this show, Local Music Somewhere, we're trying to also educate independent musicians and then the listeners that support those independent musicians. Like, do you have any words of advice or wisdom for us?
Absolutely. Always stay persistent in reaching out to people. Even if they don't respond right away, you have to stay persistent. And one thing too is I recently, when I was dropping Deshaun James Gone Pop, why I did in my eyes so well was I did such a press run, getting my name into big press articles, big blogs, like ones where some of the biggest artists in the world names are placed in. So trying to look into that, trying to see if you can sponsor brands, up and coming brands or whatever, to kind of get more of your name more in the internet surrounding and stuff. So I would just always say just continue to work hard.
Yeah, persistence is key.
Yeah,
great.
I think so.
Thank you so much, Deshaun. We really enjoyed having you on today.
Thank you for having me. It was a sensational time.
Of course. All right. Well, you guys check out Local Music Somewhere on rBeatz TV, and we'll catch y'all next time.
Thanks as always for tuning into rBeatz Radio. Search for more local music somewhere on rBeatz.com and follow our social media for highlighted artists as we travel with hashtag Local Music Somewhere.
Hello, babe.
Damn, Giuseppe.
Damn, girl, you know you cute. We can chill, let loose, and get lit up in the booth. I know you had a good night last night. Just booked a flight to Hollywood. Yeah, that could be our life. I'm never drinking, but you got me tipsy. Got me spinning around like a kid, throw a frisbee. Damn, hey, you know it is true. Hey, baby girl, you the perfect view.
I don't know what to do, 'cause I'm falling for you. Oh, our love is so strong, it could spread to the moon. I could give you my life, and you're worth that too. When you're in my sight, what a perfect view.
So we back here again. Time to meet my friends.
That's right.
Baby girl, perfect 10.
Motto.
That ain't even no lie. Yeah, she said, Deshaun, why you so flashy?
I don't know.
Damn, 'cause you know I'm keeping it classy.
Yeah.
And she got all that knowledge.
Damn.
You can tell, baby girl go to college.
Book smart.
Oh, and she's so damn solid.
Right.
And did I say, baby girl go to
I
college?
don't know what to do, 'cause I'm falling for you. Oh, our love is so strong, it could spread to the moon. I could give you my life, and you're worth that too. When you're in my sight, what a perfect view.
How you make it look good like that, like that, like that? Good Lord, hey, hey. And how you make it look good like that, like that, like that, hey.
Hey, you're a different kind of special, kind of special. I need in my world.